So especially guys, you have to understand when you're not working, okay, you have to be remaining productive. You have to remain productive. You have to do productive things in your life, and you have to improve yourself every single step of the way. In a sense, so you have to do something with your life. You have to create something. You have to get to a better stage, but you have to also talk it out on audio programs. So let's say no one's listening to your audio programs online, okay? Let's say no one's listening to anything you're doing online. You go and create something out of nothing. Go create something of words for other people. And just keep creating and creating and creating and becoming your best version. Become a talk host. Become someone who can talk to people. Become someone who can help yourself to do your work in front of people. Do what you came here to do. Do it for free, okay? Do it for free as much as you can. Get very knowledgeable about your subject. Get very knowledgeable about what you do in life. And when you are understanding to do this every day, make sure you understand, do your business. Do what you came here to do. Do what you feel is necessary for you. And as Tony Robbins says, plan on audio programs. Plan your life in audio programs and video programs. You understand? Just keep making programs. Keep making writing materials. Keep making things in your life. Keep making things and create and create and create. Just learn to create every single day of your life. Learn to become your best version. Learn to become something incredible, okay? Something that is going to be helping you to get to the next stage in your life. Something that's going to be helping you to live your life according to how you need to live it. You know, because the thing is that you have to realize that some people who are not getting sex from other people can start feeling down on themselves because they're not getting sex. You understand? But this is why you have to understand these people have tied their self-worth to having sex with other people. And this is what you must not do. You must not feel down about yourself because you're not having sex with beautiful women in life. You must go ahead and transmute sex into speaking. Transmute sex into writing. Okay? Transmute sexual energy into creative energy. You understand? Because the thing is, you have to be creative with your life. You have to create, you have to dominate, you have to every single day become your best version. And you have to talk it out. You have to talk about whatever's on your mind. Put it into a program. Whatever is on your mind, just put it into your program. And now the thing is that I recently started ClickFunnels. And now I'm just reading about what they're talking about in the community. About things you can do with ClickFunnels, things you can understand with ClickFunnels and all that. But I'm getting to the point where I'm just listening at the moment. Yeah, I'm just listening about what's going on with ClickFunnels and how can I move around it and how can I start helping myself to basically start making a page for myself where I can sell my content to people, where I can sell what I've done to other people and make money from it. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that at this point in my life, I need to do things on video camera. I need to do things on camera. And I need to be every single day creating my life. Every single day creating. Just creating, you know. And when I'm creating, you know, I need to be getting to a stage in my life where I'm selling my content to other people. So selling my content to other people is the best way to do this. And so the thing is that I want to make a real good communication technique about myself. I want to make a good communication stance in my life. And now, things happen, okay, in life. Things happen for a reason. And you have to get to some stage in your life. You have to get to a better stage in your life. And you have to every single day understand that you have to start speaking naturally. You have to start speaking much more better in your life. And you have to do much better in your own life, okay? You have to do much better in your own life. So what I want to say also is that when you're eating something, you know, you can have a cereal a day. Cereal with soy milk a day. For example, 1 liter soy milk with 7 Weet-Bix kind of things. And the thing is that you can have a cereal a day, but you can also have snacks like bread, you can have fruit, vegetables, all that kind of stuff, you know, and water, for example. And that's all good. But you have to get to the stage in your life where you're basically helping yourself to give ideas on camera, give them as much as you can, and start focusing on yourself, start focusing on a better life. Because when you're focusing on a better life, you'll actually do much better. You actually focus on something much clearer in your life. So we're focusing on a better life. We're focusing on something we're doing. We're focusing to communicate with other people. We're focusing on just making programs. We're focusing on doing a better life for ourselves. Because when we do a better life for ourselves, we're going to live like Jesus Christ. We're going to be much better. We're going to be much more open. We're going to be much more of someone who we need to be. So with my Instagram, you have to understand with things on the internet that I'm doing, for example, at the moment, you have to understand that it's going well. Okay, it's going well, but it can be better. I can do more content. I can always post more content online and stuff like that. That's not an issue for me. It's not an issue for me to post more content online, because I can every single day deliver my content to people. Okay, I can deliver my content to people, and I can become someone through this content. Okay, but that's the thing, guys. Always focus on yourself. Always focus on a better life. Focus on what you can do for the world now. What can you do for other people now? How can you do it now? What kind of things can help you get to the next stage? You have to be focusing on that. You have to be focusing on something that helps you to grow. Something that helps you to become a greater version of yourself. So we're focusing on a life. We're focusing on just speaking. We're just focusing on speaking to people. We're just focusing on connecting with people. We're just focusing on messaging people. We're focusing on basically getting our message heard to other people. And we're focusing on just connecting with other people so we can build credibility and so we can build our name for ourselves. Because the thing is that you can be doing Instagram for a long time and many people will not know you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that you have to go toward your direction. You have to go toward what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that other people are going to view you differently. They view their position, they view your position. They compare the two, okay? They compare the two and they say they're better than you, okay? But the thing is that no one's really better than you, okay? You have to understand that you are better than yourself. You're better than yourself, and that's what you focus on. You're not in a competition with other people. You're not in competition with them. Just because he's a doctor doesn't mean he's better than you. You are your own person. You got your own set of skills. You got your own type of technique. You got your own way of living life. You got your own mindset. You got your own everything. So never compare to other people. Okay, just because they're a doctor, just because they got a job, just because they are millionaires, whatever it is, or just because they have a girlfriend or they have sex or whatever it is, you go live your life. You go really live your life. Live your life doing your life. Go live your life doing your life. Answer questions for yourself. Answer people's questions. Answer your own questions. Make sure that you're becoming the guru. You're becoming the teacher that you need to be. Okay. Focus on yourself. Focus on a greater life. Focus on becoming that version of you. Focus on just growing yourself much more. Because when you're focusing on a better life, you're focusing on now. You're focusing on this moment. You're focusing on helping yourself to coach people. You're focusing on just coaching and coaching and coaching. Lots of coaching. The more coaching, the better. But first you have to lift yourself into that position. You have to do a lot of programs. You have to do a lot of programs. You have to do a lot of things for free to get to the stage that you need to be at. And this means figuring out things, figuring out how to get better, figuring out how to get to the next stage in your life. Plan everything on audio program, plan everything on video program. Be all about that. Be all about just talking words to people, a lot of words to people, and just open up to people. Open up to people. Ask them about their day. How is their day? Get to know the person. Get to know the person around you. Start speaking to them. Start really understanding them. Start being friends with them. Start being just with them, okay? With them in the conversation. Do not look to deteriorate the conversation. Just make sure you're lifting the conversation. Lift people every single day. You understand? Lift people so that you can do better in your life. That's what you focus on. Now, for the people who do have women in their life, that's good for them. I've got my own self. I've got myself, okay? I've got myself and that's all I need. I've got myself and God, okay? So I'm actually doing much better now because the thing is that I've got women too. They're all around me. You know, so they're all around me anyway, okay? But the thing is that I'm not lacking anything. I'm not lacking the person I am. I'm not lacking my finances. I'm not lacking things about my life. So I'm opening up and I'm making my online material my office. Everything about me online is my office. That's who I am in my life. And now I'm actually growing myself. I'm growing myself because now I'm starting to plan things on camera. I'm starting to plan things on video camera. I'm starting to plan things via audio programs. Yeah, because that's what life is. And it's just about talking and talking and talking. Talking as much as you can. Talking and solving problems. Just solving problems every single day. Doing more and more and more. Filling in the time with words. Filling in everything that you can do with words. You know, becoming your best self. Becoming something greater. Becoming whatever you can become. Just talk it out. Talk it out with yourself and become a good communicationalist. You know, become someone who can communicate with people. Become someone who can actually be confident with other people and that can basically think very fast. You know, that's the whole point, isn't it? To actually think very fast, but also do as much as you can. You know, so the thing is that you have to get to the point in your life where you're doing more than thinking. Okay, you're doing more than thinking. Okay. So every single day, get to the stage in your life where you're actually always doing much better. You're doing much better, much better, much better, much better. And you're focusing on your life. You're focusing on your life. You're focusing on a better life. You're focusing on basically improving your communication skills. You're improving your communication skills. You're improving your life. You're improving who you are. You're improving your communication skills and techniques. You're just improving yourself. You're improving your life. That's what you need to do. And now, as far as me going back to the Serbian community in Australia, you have to understand that I have to say I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm moving on from that. Yeah, because the thing is that I've been hurt by people in the past. I put myself out there in front of them. And the thing is that people just didn't retaliate the way I wanted them to. And the thing is that you learn who your true friends are in life, you know. But if I was to go back to the Serbian community, I would be able to talk to them. I'll be able to talk to them. But the thing is that, you know, I may meet someone from there that could help me in some kind of way or whatever, especially a girl. You know, I could meet a girl, you know, and then there's no judgment here, you know, but the thing is that I have good judgment. But then it's like, you know, once you meet the girl, it's like, now you still have to improve your life anyway. You know, you still have to improve your life anyway. And then you have to go and do something in your life where you're just talking about things in your life, talking about things about whatever it is that's on your mind, talking about things and just speaking things on your mind. You know, because I've got the talent. You know, I've got the talent to speak to people. I've got the talent to talk to people. I've got the talent to just be me in life. And I'm just being me. I'm being me, myself, and I. Yeah, and that's why I'm actually growing. I'm growing as a human being. I'm growing myself because I believe in myself. I believe in who I am. I believe in myself, you know, because I know I can get there. I know I can get to a better stage of my life. I know that where I am today doesn't define me. You understand? But what I do next and what I do now, I can do much better. You understand? And you have to realize every single day it's always about growth. It's always about communication. It's always about helping yourself get into the next stage in your life. You know, so the thing is that you have to grow yourself. You have to become your best self. You have to become your best self in life. And what I want to do is I want to go JB Hi-Fi. I want to go JB Hi-Fi and I want to get myself a microphone. I want to get myself a microphone. I want to get myself a microphone for my phone. And that way I can make better audio programs. That way I can be much more clearer about how I speak to you and other people. And then I can invest time into this. Invest time into my programs, into my life, into my coaching, into my whoever I am at the moment. Yes, and so the thing is that I believe in myself. I believe I can do it. I believe I can become my best version. And it's always about just growing yourself, And when you're just growing yourself, you're growing yourself, you're growing yourself, words will come to you. Words will come to you about what you can say to other people. You just focus on yourself. You focus on your better life. You focus on a better life. You focus on something that can help you to grow. Solve a lot of problems. Solve a lot of problems for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get to the highest stage in your life. And then we just focus. We focus on ourselves. We focus on how can we be better? How can we do better? How can we do much more in our life? How can we just be a conversationalist where we don't have to keep solving problems, but we can just talk and talk and talk. Just keep talking. You know what I'm saying? But solve problems, of course. Always solve problems. Solve problems for yourself, solve problems for other people, and just get to the stage where you're solving a lot of problems for everything that you are. You're getting so good at that. You know what I'm saying? You're getting very good at solving problems. Yeah, because that's what you need to do. You're just focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your life. You're focusing on communication. You're focusing on just growing yourself in your life. You're focusing on a better life for yourself, and you're creating content. You're creating yourself. You're creating your life. You're creating your coaching technique. You're creating everything that you are. Yeah, that's what you need to focus on. So every single day, just focus on your life. Focus on what you can do for other people. Focus on how you can grow and expand your business. Yeah, because that's what life is. Life is always about helping other people. It's always about growing. It's always about service. Yeah, the more you can serve people, the better you are. Yeah, so get to a stage in your life where you're doing things legally and you're helping for free, and you're getting to a stage in your life where you're doing much better about who you are today. Yeah, so you're doing much better today, for example. And so when you focus on being better now than yesterday, that's the whole point. Just always get better. Just get better and better. Focus on every single day doing the most you can. Motivate yourself to go to the gym. Motivate yourself to do things with life. Motivate yourself to go into the gym and speak on audio programs while you're walking. Okay? While you're walking, speak on the audio program. And then do your audio programs at home, for example. And let it be that way. And you can do your audio programs at home. But at the gym, you can just exercise. You can just exercise at the gym. And you can do things on the go. You can do your life on the go. You can do your life on the go. You know what I'm saying? You can just focus on communication. Focus on communicating your life. Focus on becoming a better communicator. Focus on becoming someone far greater than who you are. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you need to focus on. And then you're just looking for life. You're looking for things to say. You're looking for things to do. You're looking for things to become. You're looking for things to understand life much better. Go look for life. Go look for something that you can do. Go look for something that you can understand. Become your best version. Become something greater. You understand? That's how you focus on your life. Focus on the business. Focus on helping your life to understand business, to understand life, to understand where you're coming from, to understand how you're communicating onto the phone, and that's going online on YouTube, and that's going on your profile, and that's becoming who you are as a person. And now you're growing and you're developing yourself, you're developing your skills, you're developing who you are. And then you can go between writing in an exercise book, and then you can go write on a laptop, then you can go write in a boogie board, then you can go write in your phone, then you can do voice programs with yourself, then you can go make music, and then you can just go for a drive and then you can go sleep, and then you can go eat something, and then you just rotate your life around and do things that really help you to succeed in life. You understand? You're just doing things that help you succeed. To succeed is everything. You understand? So make sure you're succeeding in life. Make sure you're growing yourself to succeed. Because the thing is that I know that because of your money, you feel that other people will judge you, because of your status. They'll judge you or whatever it is. But the thing is that you have to realize status comes and goes. You understand? The thing is that you have to realize just because of your money, just because of your status or whatever it is in your life, you go and grow and you go and solve people's problems. You focus on solving people's problems. You understand? When you meet your partner's wife, when you meet your partner's parents, you talk to them to solve their problems. You talk to them to solve their problems. You talk to people to solve their problems. Look for problems to solve with them. And the more you solve their problems, guess what happens? You start communicating to them. You start being the mature one in the conversation because you're solving their problems. So only look to be solving problems. Nothing else. Only look to be solving problems. And when you're solving problems with people, you're becoming much better. You're becoming much more kind. You're becoming better. You're increasing your chances of communication with people. You know, so that's what you need to focus on. But then you have to get to the stage in your life where you're doing everything legally. You know, and just do it for free. Do it for free. You know, so doing it the free way is a legal way to do it. And then focus on just getting to life every single day, making sure that you're focusing on a better life for yourself. You're focusing on doing much better for yourself. And you're focusing on just growing yourself. Just grow yourself the best way you can. But then you see the sexual thoughts, for example, you see all those sexual thoughts and you put them into words. You put them into words and you transmute it into energy for communication with people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you do. You communicate all that sexual energy, all that stuff that you have in your mind about things, about women, about men, or whatever it is. Just talk it out to people on your YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Talk it out. Cleanse your mind. Cleanse everything that you are. You know what I'm saying? Create whatever you can. Create that energy that you can and start really focusing on your life. Start focusing that you have a life, that you have a better life, that you have something, that you are a good communicator, that you can communicate to people now, that you can make hours and hours of programs every single day, that you can do this every single day with yourself every single day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you focus on. Every single day, focus on your life. Focus on just becoming your best version, just talking it out with yourself. Talk it out with yourself every single day. You know what I'm saying? Because the more you talk it out, the better. The more you talk it out, the better. So every single day, just focus on your life. Focus on something that is communicating to yourself. Communicate to yourself every single day. Communicate to your life. Communicate to who you are. Never mind the people that don't get information from you. You know, so go create information and post it online anyway. Post all this information online anyway. Post information online that makes you attractive. Post information online that makes you feel that you are doing something, that you are creative, that you are much better than who you are. You know what I'm saying? That you are growing yourself and that you are getting to a stage where you're a good communicator and that you can solve a lot of problems in life. And that you can become an entrepreneur. That you can actually do much better for yourself. That you can actually get to the stage in life that you need to be at. And then you're focusing on life. You're focusing on a better life. You're focusing on better communication skills. And then you can use these communication skills the way you talk to the audio program. You can talk like that to people. You can talk like that to people around you. You know what I'm saying? You can be in a coaching position with them. You know what I'm saying? You can be someone who's looking at them and solving their problems. You know what I'm saying? The same way that you talk to the audio programs in your life and video programs and stuff like that, you can talk to other people like this. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to people in real life like this. You know what I'm saying? The same way you're talking to people on your online social media, you can talk to people like that also in real life. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on how you communicate to people on social media. How do you communicate to people? And saying, do you need to approach people? Now, approaching people, you would have to understand when you approach people, you have to be nice to them, but you have to be giving a service. You have to be giving a service of some kind. You have to be giving a service, but you have to get much better in your life. You have to get a lot of goods and material and whatever it is that you have in your life, and you have to give that to other people. You have to give everything that you have. You know, and give everything that you have. You know, so the thing is that as much as you give, as much as you'll get. You know, so the thing is that you have to focus on your life. Focus on the better life now. So every single day, just focus on your life. Focus on something that's helping you grow. Just focus on something that's helping you grow. You know, because you're practicing communication skills. You're practicing with yourself. You're practicing with your life. You're practicing with something that gives you skills. You're practicing with something that is content driven. You know, you're content driving your way of life into other people's hearts and other people's souls. And you're giving them information that nourishes their soul. Yes, and you're giving them information that helps them really dive deep into a better space of mind. And you're practicing your goals. You're practicing your vision. You're practicing everything on camera. You're practicing everything before you even put it online. You're practicing it in your audio program. And you're just making programs and making programs and making programs. And the more you communicate on your phone to other people on YouTube channel or whatever it is, the more you're better and better and better. You know, just make a ton of videos, make a ton of programs. Make a ton of programs and put them all on YouTube. You know, so put it all on YouTube. And it doesn't matter how many people look at your content. The main thing is that you put it out there. The main thing is that you put it out there for social talk. You understand? And that people somehow, some way, talk to people around you about you and what you've said in life. You understand that somehow you've already lived your legacy, that you live the person you are now. And that you're leaving something behind for people to talk about, and that you're leaving something behind for people to grow with. Okay? So the thing is that you're focusing on yourself, you're focusing on your life, you're focusing on getting to the better stage in your life. You're focusing on helping yourself to grow yourself every single day. You're focusing on communication with people. And now the same way you talk to people is the same way you talk to people on audio programs and video programs is the same way you talk to people basically in real life. And so just talk to them like this, the way you are now on your audio program, and talk to people how you are talking to people in real life via your audio programs. Okay? So the way you talk to your audio programs and via your audio programs and video programs, the way you talk the way you're talking to people inside your audio programs, okay, the way you're talking to people inside your audio programs, you're also talking to people like that in real life, okay? And that helps you basically improve your communication. So in this communication, you're always looking to solve their problems. You're looking to solve their problems, to solve their problems, to solve their problems, to solve their problems. When you talk to someone, you're looking to solve their problems. Looking to solve their problems. That's it, nothing else. Do nothing else in life. Just solve problems. Solve as many problems as you can. Yeah. Be all about solving problems in life. Solving your problems, solving other people's problems, solving just problems and problems and problems. You know, solve a lot of problems in life. And that's how you grow. That's how you become your best version. And then dedicate a lot of time to just growing yourself, to growing your information, to growing who you are, to growing and just practicing and practicing and practicing. Practicing, and then eventually you're getting better and better and better, and then you're getting to a better stage in your life. And now I've come to the point where I can talk unlimited amount of time, because I can always come back to my words, and I can always come back to a new way. Okay, so I use a lot of repetition in my communication. I use a lot of repetition. I come back to the basis, and then I adapt into new information. You know, so the thing is that my basis is coming back to or coming back to my words, and then moving and giving some new information with that. You know, so repetition is key in terms of adaptation, and you have to understand you have to repeat your words sometimes so that you can adapt into new words, and that's what you do. Okay. So focus on your skills, focus on your life, focus on growth, focus on becoming your best self, focus on just growing yourself. And now I want to go see something I want to go Officeworks. I want to go see something at Officeworks just to see if they have a microphone that I can use for my phone. So let's go have a look. Actually, guess what? Well, I want to say something that Officeworks has a microphone that I'm looking at the moment. It's only $16, but the thing is that this will help me have better audio programs and video programs for myself on YouTube, for example. So it's worth me going right now to Officeworks before it closes so that I can basically go ahead and get that microphone for myself. And once I get that microphone, I can go test it out. And once I test it out, I'm going to go all in on my communication. I'm just going to go all in on communication. All in communication. You understand? So anyway, guys, I'm going to go now to Officeworks because I have to do it. Yeah, I have to do it for myself. Anyway, guys, laters.